Hello, friends. Today we are going to discuss the story of When Among Crows, written by Veronica Roth. I hope you like the summary. If you do not forget to hit the like and subscribe. So, the book opens with the scene of a boy entering into a forest. Imagine a very creepy forest. He wants to go there to pick a fern flower, which is an enchanted flower to cure curses. To get that, he has to pass a test. So he meets the guardian of the forest, known as the Lassie. The Lassie asks him to prove his worth by making a target and ask him to hit it right, but he fails. So Lassie asks him to go back to his home, but he remembers that there is one main test that he has to give, and if he is proven worthy, he can obtain the flower. So he asks Lassie to take the test. Lassie grudgingly agrees, and in the test, he is asked to kneel before a tree from where a girl comes to him. He recognizes her as a known rat. She asks his name, and he gives it as Dimitra. She then proceeds on to tear his skin apart to reach his heart, his bloody red heart. Now, if the known rat sees that his heart is worthy, then she will allow him to pick the flower. So she reads on what is into his heart and is pleasantly surprised and is very curious. She allows him to pick the flower despite Lassie's protest. After obtaining the flower, Dimitra enters a bar where he knows he would find a Zamora. Zamora is a creature who feasts on fear. She asks the Zamora to introduce him to the cursed Zamora that he can help her. So there is a cursed Zamora, and Dimitra wants to help her by giving her the flower he just picked. But of course, the Zamora, since she is immortal, she cannot trust a human being, and she grows suspicious, and she questions his reliability. And to verify that, he says that he has taken the test and he is proven worthy. So that is how she can recognize that, okay, this person really wants to help, otherwise he would not be able to pass the test as a mere mortal. Also asks him what does he want in return, and he replies that he wants an audience with Baba Yaga, who is the most powerful witch. She also asks his name, and he gives it as Dimitra. After the exchange, he exits the bar, and he is soon followed by someone. He recognizes that someone is following, so he turns back and he is kind of ready to have a fight, but he realizes that it is nobody else. It is no one else other than his sister Elsa, who wants to go with him to find Baba Yaga, and she fears for her brother's life, but he definitely refuses. He doesn't want to take his sister into danger. And then we see that after a few days, the waitress of the bar kind of gives the information of the flower to her friend, to the cursed Zamora, and she agrees to meet him. She introduces herself as Alexa, Ella for short, so I will be referring to her as Ella in this story. Now, when she introduces herself, she also states that she can see the people of Holy Order kill mystical creatures and bear the torture of the victims. So whosoever is killed by the Holy Order Knights, whosoever, be it mystical, be it Zamora, be it Sturja, be it any other mystical immortal creature, if they are killed or assassinated by the Holy Order Knight, she can visibly see it and see the illusion, which also hampers her emotional health, her mental health. That is the curse which she witnesses, the suffering of everybody, and she wants to get rid of it, because slowly and steadily this vision of seeing the torture of others is taking her energy away from her, so her body feels weak day by day gradually. So that is a definite reason she gives for her hatred towards the Knights of the Holy Order. He also states his offer that he will be able to give her the fern flower and she can cure her curse, but in return she has to give location or find the whereabouts of Baba Yaga. Knows somebody who might be able to help him find Baba Yaga, and she might also need to find Baba Yaga herself, because even if she has the flower, she does not know how to use the flower to treat the curse. She takes him to an institution where fights take place. There she meets Nikodem Kotska and introduces Nikodem to Dimitra. He is a person who is very strong, grumpy, everybody is afraid of him, and Ayla signs herself up for a fight, and this is kind of a ring where everybody bets on the people who are fighting. So is with a Sturziga, and Nicodem assures her that this Sturziga is weak opponent and she will be able to beat him if she strategizes her plan properly. The fight happens, and with the use of her illusions and tricks, Ayla wins. Lucky for Nico, who had bet on her. After winning, they get an audience with the owner, Lydia Kotska, who is also the head of all the Sterzigas, the oldest of the Sterziga. Ela, as a prize for her victory, asks for the knowledge of Baba Yaga's whereabouts. Lydia, even though appreciates her victory, but says that this will need a payment, and for that, they need to give her a gift born out of pain, basically a fingernail. Dimitri volunteers to give his fingernail instead of her. Curious, Nico volunteers to take the fingernail and save Lydia from the pathetic experience. Ella and Nico both observe that despite being a mortal, Dimitro feels no fear or anger throughout the process, which is unparalleled given all the humans, mortals they have seen so far. As the three of them start to leave to find Baba Yaga, crows attack them. Nico questions how the crows were able to find them, and Ella states that she saw a person who was summoning these crows, and Dimitra tells them that this is a process called blood sacrifice, because of which they are able to summon crows. And increasingly, Nico goes suspicious and he holds a knife to his throat, asking how does he know this is beyond common knowledge, how does he know all this. And Dimitra replies that he wants to kill a knight of the Holy Order, and that is why he kind of acculturated all these information so as to be able to target them better. So after fighting them off and finally winning against the crows, Nico takes them to a secure location where they meet Shah. Shah is a shield, basically a demon. Shah refuses any payment, and hence Nico has already paid because of the sacrifice he makes. They guide Ella to a room where she can succumb to her curse safely alone, while Nico helps Dimitri with his bleeding finger. In the privacy of the bathroom, they are unable to resist each other, takes the opportunity of the closeness between them to ask why does his own kind hate Nico. He responds that since the male Sterziga are sterile, they are the ones that their head chooses to sacrifice. That is, they will fight the Holy Knight on behalf of their kind. Because of this, they also are most powerful beings, and the people are generally afraid of him because of his power, and also kind of hate him or are jealous of him. And these people also donate their magic to safeguard against the Holy Order Knight. Dimitra then realizes how Nico could have saved his fingernail by using his magic before, but he did not. And he asks why he did not save him or save him and Ella both. Nico says that he was curious to see whether Dimitra would sacrifice or not. He has not seen any mortal do such tasks to help immortal beings, basically. Dimitra asks why is he helping them. He says that he owes a debt to Ella, and because Dimitra is beautiful. They almost kiss, and then Dimitra leaves to join Ella. Ella asks him why he wants to kill the knight. She's going through her vision, she's going through the curse, and he joins her. So she asks the question that she wanted to know the answer of since a long time, since she met him. And he narrates the story of how he knew a family where the girl's mother was schizophrenic and she was killed, but later it was found out that it was not schizophrenia, but it was rather the curse. The girl begged, but to no avail. Her mother was killed in front of her, and then the curse passed from her mother to her. And soon after, we see that the father complained to the Holy Order, and even the girl was dragged and killed. So the curse then passed down the family. Ella realizes that the girl was Lena, her cousin, and asks him how he knows Lena. He told her that they were in the same school and he often used to visit her family, so they were close friends. Nico then took them to an awning of trees where his mother once took to meet Baba Yaga. So the next day he makes the plans and he realizes that he knows where he can find Baba Yaga, since his mother took him once to meet Baba Yaga. There they were trapped by the roots. The roots won't be severed unless they gave a secret. So first Ella goes and she confesses that she was the one to kill her mother. because her mother was cursed and she did not want to see her suffer. And then Nico, he was the second to reveal his secret, and he says that he was not born a Sturziga, but later he was turned into a Sturziga with the help of Baba Yaga. And then Dimitri reveals that he is not an ordinary mortal. He does not lead with that anywhere, but since he knew that already Ela and Nico were questioning his mortality, he says that he is not an ordinary mortal. As soon as they are freed, a brown paper with Baba Yaga's address is dropped. Dimitri takes it. As they start to leave, they are attacked by vampires and they fight with the vampires. Finally, they are able to kill the mass of the vampires and they see the person who is controlling them. So the person is the Knight of an Holy Order, and the person is like going to kill Nico when Dimitra comes in between them, and then Dimitra takes over the fight. And later it is found out that the person, the knight, is basically nobody but Dimitri's sister Elsa. So after losing the fight to Dimitra, she says that she can help him still by killing Ela and Nico, as well as by killing Baba Yaga. So she wants to join his fight, but he is very angry because this is very unplanned and he did not want to reveal that secret that he was also a knight. And Nico and Ela soon realize the similarity between Dimitra and Elsa, and Dimitra is very angry and he finally makes her leave by throwing away her sword to her and asking to never see him again. And then after the fight ends, he's not able to face Nico or Ela, so he just takes the paper and flees with the paper. Nico and Ela soon realize what he's doing, and they are afraid that he will kill Baba Yaga, so they also run to warn Baba Yaga. When they reach Baba Yaga's house, Dimitra is not there, and Baba Yaga kind of asks for him, and they tell her that Dimitra is going to kill Baba Yaga and Dimitra is the enemy, he is a knight of the Holy Order, and Baba Yaga says that she already knows all that information. When finally Dimitra reaches Baba Yaga's house, she asks him his wish because Dimitra was the one who fetched the flower, and she also told him about the noon wraith, and what she told him that when the noon wraith was examining his heart, there was one person in his heart, and that was Baba Yaga. So she herself was very curious to meet him. Dimitra wants her to remove his sword, which is also half of his soul. So he wants the knightedness, the holy order part of himself to be removed by Baba Yaga. She asks him to rethink it, and meanwhile she moves on to Ela, who wants to be free of the curse. But Baba Yaga says that she can't help her, as the form can only be touched by mortals. Dimitra offers then to help her because he is a mortal. So he says that he will consume the flower on behalf of Ela, and Baba Yaga agrees, except there is the catch. The curse needs to be transferred to Dimitra from Ela, and then he can consume the flower so as to remove the curse. And she does that. After the successful transfer, it's time to fulfill the wish of. He takes away the sword. Basically, the Knight of the Order have a sword that is encased within the flesh of their own body. So it is very bloody, and he has to tear apart the sword from his back, shoulder, spine. But Dimitra is able to do that after much agony, much bloodshed. And Baba Yaga again asks whether this is what he wants and whether he is certain about destroying the sword, thereby half of his soul. One moment of hesitance on his part, and Nico stops him. So does Ela. Nico urges Baba Yaga to transform him into a Zamora so that he might be able to change himself, and he's no more a knight, but he's also not dead. Baba Yaga agrees but asks that the sword to be the payment to make the change. Dimitra asks, can this piece of soul ever be returned to him? She says yes, for the right price. So definitely that door is closed but not locked. He can go take his soul back whenever he wants to, if he wants to. So after drinking an elixir that the Baba Yaga gives to him, he falls asleep, and when he wakes up, he finds that Ela is around her. And when he sees Ela, he's able to smell angel food cake, which is Ela's worry, and realizes that he's finally turned into a Zamora. Since Zamora are the creatures who can smell worry and fear fear of humans, fear of mortals, even fear of other immortal beings is food for the Zamora. Everything is new and bright to him, and now they realize that since they are joined by blood, they both are brother and sister, they are siblings. And then he meets Nico and they kiss and they have a happy ending. And the final end scene shows he returns to the forest where he first started to meet with Lizzie and to have a friendly contest. So the book ends here. What are your thoughts? I felt that the book had a very whimsical, dark, gothic environment, and the magical creatures made it more special. The relationship between Nico and Dimitro leads to a very slow burn romance, and also they are kind of enemies to lovers in a way. We also see through the story that the main characters have a very humane quality to them, even if they are villains. Some of them are villains. We see a more humane side to them and kind of know why one person can be a hero to somebody and can be a villain to others. We also explore the bond of siblings and how attached and protective they are of each other. And definitely there is the legend of Baba Yaga in the mix, which enhances the whimsy of the story furthermore. So I hope you enjoyed this book review, and if you have read the book or if you have any other thoughts that you would want to share, do comment down below. I love hearing from you, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you. Have a nice day. I'll see you with the next video.